very significant on a symbolic level. He does have so much power that he has centralized that in terms of policy, it might not have a huge amount, but the fact that a strong man, can lose at this level so publicly in the capital and what seems like it's going to be in Istanbul, the largest city, it's going to be embarrassing for him. The economic discontent in this country has just become too much for voters. Many were concerned, not just the voters, government officials, foreign investors, about how the Turkish president is handling the economy. He has recently called himself an economist and has put his son-in-law as the finance minister. That finance minister has recently said that Turkey would be going into a period of economic reform. What exactly does that mean? Foreign investors are probably not going to have too much confidence in that. And voters have now said they don't have too much confidence in the Turkish president's handling of the economy as well.
This is a moment of Turkey at a crossroads.
It's so clear we have won Istanbul.
The main opposition, the CHP, says its candidate for mayor of Istanbul has won. CHP says it has also won the capital Ankara. It would be a remarkable change by voters. These two cities have been controlled by the Turkish president Recep Tayyip Erdogan's party for about 2 decades. Yet his increasingly centralized control of the country is not going anywhere. Both parties knew these races would be incredibly tight due to grave economic concerns for the country. Some were still loyal to the Turkish president, who called these elections a matter of survival.
I voted for AK Party. I hope everything will be good for our country. I hope God will never take him from us.
I voted for AK Party for the future of my daughter.
Erdogan has brought us peace, happiness to our country. That's why we support Erdogan.
But these elections have shown support for Erdogan's party is shaky. That is due to the economic squeeze felt by people like waiter Naci Özel. He's been working at this Istanbul cafe for 15 years. But even with a raise, he says Turkey's rising inflation has hit his family hard.
Of course I feel bad. Everyone wants to live a good life, but we cannot manage it because of the economy.
After his shift, he heads home to cast his ballot in the country's local elections. He is supporting the main opposition, partly because, he says, of how poorly Erdogan has handled the economy. Turkey's currency fell 30% last year after Erdogan found himself in a diplomatic crisis with the U.S. Food prices and unemployment are on the rise. The pressure was clearly felt by the Turkish president. Erdogan hit the campaign trail hard, accusing the opposition of supporting terrorism. Journalist Jamal Can said the campaigning reached new levels.
It is direct accusations. Unfairness is not something new, but in this election, each boundary has been crossed.
Local journalists created this media center to keep track of any alleged voting irregularities. The opposition criticized the state news agency, claiming it wasn't properly reporting results. Regardless of the outcome, Özel says he is glad he was able to send a message to the government.
To vote is our citizenship duty. We vote to elect who is going to govern us.
Now voters like Özel wait to see if the government heard them.
Well, Christina, how has the President Recep Tayyip Erdogan addressed this? What reaction has he said?
Well, he has said that he's going to focus on terrorism and the economy. Terrorism is an important topic for him because it raises the nationalist support, and he has a nationalist base, a conservative nationalist base. He's gone into Syria in the past, fighting against what he says are terrorists connected to the PKK, which is a group considered a terrorist organization in the country here. In terms of the economy and how he's going to handle that, that's going to be vastly important. This is what voters have been punishing him seemingly in the ballots, in the polling stations. So that's going to be a big question. Is he going to go back and go into more orthodox economic policies, or is he going to continue to try to fuel economic growth with this massive foreign debt? That's going to be a big question because that's what has continued to put Turkey into an economic crisis. What voters, though, really want is to really improve the Turkish currency and decrease the inflation and decrease the food prices in this country.